there, welcome to our video. Let me introduce myself and my partner. There is 6 person in this team. First, Novin Edwin, and then Yoga Ramadhani. Third, Risha Dadi, Michael Daniel, Muhammad Andri, and me, Randy Argyansyah. We are member of 4EA24 from Gunadarma. And today we will explain about this.
What's a cloud computing? What is the cloud? Where is the cloud? Are we in the cloud now? These are all questions you've probably heard or even asked yourself. In the simplest terms, cloud computing means storing and accessing data and program over the internet. Instead of your computer's hard drive, the cloud is just a metamorph for the internet. For it to be considered cloud computing, you need to access your data or your program over the internet, or at the very least, have that data synchronized with other information over the web. There are 3 types of cloud computing service. 1. EaaS, Cloud Infrastructure Service, as known as Infrastructure as a Service, are made of highly scalable and automated compute research. EaaS is fully self-service for accessing and monitoring things like compute, networking, storage, and other services, and it allows business to purchase research on demand and as needed instead of having to buy hardware outright. For example, DigitalOcean, Linode, Workspace, Amazon Web Service, Cisco Metapod, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine. 2. PaaS, Cloud Platform Service or Platform as a Service, provide cloud components to certain software while being used mainly for application. PaaS provides a framework for developers that they can build upon and use to create customized applications. All servers, storage, and networking can be managed by the enterprise or a third-party provider, while the developers can maintain management of the application. For example, EVS, Elastic Beanstalk, Windows Azure, Heroku, Force.com, Google App, Apache Tratos, OpenShift. SaaS, Software as a Service, also known as Cloud Application Service, represent the most commonly utilized option for business in the cloud market. SaaS utilizes the internet to deliver applications to its users, which are managed by a third-party vendor. A majority of SaaS applications are run directly through the web browser and do not require any downloads or installation on the client side. For example, Google Apps, Dropbox, Salesforce, Cisco Web, Concur, GoToMeeting.
What is grid computing and how it works? Grid computing is computer network in which each computer resource are shared with every other computer in the system. Processor, power, memory, and data storage are all community resources that authorized user can tap into and leverage for specific tasks. A grid computing system can be as simple as collection of similar computer running on the same operation system, or as complex as internet network system comprised of every computer platform you can think of. Grid computing system concept is like sharing the loads across multiple computers to complete tasks more efficiently and quickly.
Virtualization is the process of running virtual instance of a computer system in a layer abstracted from the actual hardware. Most commonly, It refers to running multiple operating systems on a computer system simultaneously. There are many reasons why people utilize virtualization in computing. To desktop users, the most common use is to be able to run applications meant for a different operating system without having to switch computers or reboot into a different system.
MapReduce is a framework which we can write application to process huge amount of data in parallel on large cluster of community hardware in a reliable manner. The MapReduce algorithm contains two important tasks, namely map and reduce. Map takes a set of data, converts it into another set of data where individual elements are broken down into tuples, which is key and value pairs. Secondly, reduce task, which takes the output from a map as an input and combine those data tuples into a small set of data as the sequence of the name map and reduce implies. The reduce task is always performed after the map job.
NoSQL database provide a mechanism for storage and retrieval of data that is modeled in means other than the tabular relation used in relation database. With NoSQL, data can be stored in schemaless or free-form fashion. Any data can be stored in any record.
Among the NoSQL database, you will find four common models for storing data, which lead to four common types of NoSQL system. First, document databases. Example, CouchDB and MongoDB. The user data is being stored in free-form JSON structures of documents, where the data could be anything from integers to string to free-form text. There is no inherent need to specify what fields, if any, the document will contain. Second, key value stores. For example, Redis and React stores use the associative array, also known as a map or dictionary, as their fundamental data model. In this model, data is represented as a collection of key value pairs, such that each possible key appears at most one in the collection. Third, wide column stores. For example, HBase and Cassandra. That is stored in columns instead of rows, as in a conventional SQL system. And a number of columns, and therefore many different types of data, can be grouped or aggregated as needed for queries or data fields. Fourth, graph database. For example, Neo4j, data is represented as a network or graph of entities and their relationships, with each node in the graph or free-form chunk of data. This is all from our team, and I hope you enjoy and understand what we mean, and see you on the top.